Hi, I'm Michael Roy, and I started a newspaper in 30 days.
Hello everybody. No, I'm not dead. I just haven't made a video in a couple weeks. So this series kind of ended in a bit of a dud, didn't it? So I was meaning to make a video a week after my last one, near like the new year, so I meant to do it. It never worked out. I honestly kind of put it off a little bit, and when I decided I wanted to do it, I got a little too busy. You can tell I'm in a new office space, so let me show you around. So it's kind of a work in progress right now, as you can see. That's my desk over there. That's where you saw me. That is my stand. I am eventually going to put something in that frame. But yeah, I don't have a coat hanger, so I usually hang that on the chair right over here. But since I'm making the video, I wanted to make my space look a little more professional. That's why I've thrown all my jackets over here. But yeah, we got a sitting space for people here. Got an extra chair over here, mostly to fill up the space. And have all this shelving. You can ignore that. That was from the chair. So yeah, all the shelf space. Here are all the papers. This is my first issue. So there we go. There's that. And then here's the second one, and the third one will be coming out tomorrow. So
Hey guys, future me. So one of the clips that I had, the camera focused on my little stand, aka that frame I was propping it up on instead of me. So I'm gonna try to make up for it by recording on here. So yeah, we're just piecemealing this video. It's kind of been that in a nutshell. So yeah, really not too much news-wise happened in the last couple days of the 30-day business challenge. The biggest thing was on January 3rd, the boys and girls basketball team for JWP traveled to Casson Manorville High School for the Southern Minnesota Hoops Fest. It's basically a bunch of schools host this Hoops Fest. It features a lot of teams from Southern Minnesota and a couple from the Twin Cities. The Lady Dogs, they played Minnehaha Academy, and it was a pretty good game. They had a lead throughout a bit of the first half, but defensively they just struggled. And the Red Hawks, they're used to playing a lot of big Twin Cities teams, so they were able to figure things out offensively. The second half, the girls did a pretty good job, but they just couldn't contain the Red Hawks offensively at all. Or rather, they couldn't contain them on defense. The Red Hawks offense, I think the final score was something close to like 81-68 or something like that. The girls, that was probably one of their best games offensively, but if you're having to score over 80 points to try to win the game, that's definitely difficult. But apparently not so much for the boys team. They have gotten easily 80 points, sometimes 90. They've already had one game where they scored over 100 points. They almost did that one other time, but they were stopped at 98. But yeah, they've been able to get things going, and they were able to against Springfield at Casson Manorville. defensively, but the Tigers, I think in their section they either were very close to making it to their section championship or they did and they were stopped short. And they're a talented team. They had, let's see, I think the final score was 93-80 in favor of JWP, but pretty much throughout the entire game they were within a couple of scores of JWP. So the Bulldogs are going to be in their section this year, I believe. So if they end up meeting each other again, it could get interesting. So, and I didn't know it at the time, but in that game, the Bauer brothers achieved two different milestones. Dalton Bauer, a senior at Janesville, he ended up hitting the all-time scoring record, which I don't know the exact amount of points it was. It was a little over 1,800 points, and that was held by Josh Zemke, I want to say since 1997 or 98. Either way, I was either, barely born or wasn't born quite yet. That's how long the record has stood. So good on Dalton for that. His younger brother, Gavin, you got to remind yourself he's a sophomore. Not only is he tall, but he's really good at basketball. He ended up hitting 1,000 points. So, otherwise, that was pretty much the only other major news thing. I did cover New Year's Eve thing. Zanesville band Asby played at the Mill, but I believe I covered that in the previous video. But just in case I didn't, because it's literally been a month since I've done a video, that was one of the other things. Otherwise, like days 28 to 30, it was pretty much working on pages and, preparing for getting this office space, and that was about it. And I think the only really big thing other than that was I'm trying to navigate and still navigating a month later through the publishing process, getting the pages to the printer. So I go through House of Print and Medelia. One thing I'm getting used to is the very early deadline that I have. At all the other newspapers I've worked at, I think the earliest deadline for our press day was 5:30 p.m., maybe 5 p.m. For me, it is Wednesdays at 10 a.m. So Tuesdays are basically my press day. I still try to cover games on Tuesday and include it in that week's issue. So it's a quick turnaround, but I'm getting used to it. So other than that, that was pretty much the 30 days. So let me from about a week ago explain how the rest of January has gone so far.
So, yeah, pretty much ever since the 30-day business challenge, it's been moving into here slowly but surely. I wanted to do an open house this weekend, but it's supposed to be really cold, so I'm probably going to put it off until... Really, I'm only planning on having some refreshments and just having people come in and say hi. Nothing too big. This office space isn't big anyway, so don't want to make too much of a big deal out of things. But other than that, been basically focused on Janesville, Waldorf, Pemberton Snow Week. That's been my big thing the past couple weeks. I showed you the second issue of the paper. That was the Snow Week Court. Got to interview them. And last Friday, I got to cover Pep Fest, so there's that too.
Hi, feature me again. I forgot to mention after the 30 days. One of these things happened during the 30 days. So Waterville, Elysian, Morristown, JWP Grizzlies, the wrestling team, Senior wrestler Brady Murphy reached 100 wins, I believe it was. Oh, I put 110th. Well, he's probably there now. But no, it's 100th win. The poster says 100, so hey, sometimes you can't catch your mistakes in time. It was definitely that case the first week. Just kind of a sidebar. A lot of the pages on the first week had 2025 on it instead of 2026. But that's in the past. So the other thing I forgot to mention, sports-wise, about less than 2 weeks after the Bowers, one of them hit 1,000 points, the other one broke an all-time scoring record. The girls had a duo that did the same thing. So senior Katie Elson, she's been playing varsity since 8th grade. She broke the all-time scoring record. And I think it was the record to beat was like 1,831 or something like that. It was set by Heather Johnson in 2005. So not as far back as the boys' record, but still 20 years to break it. It just proves, how good the teams were and the players were in, the 90s and 2000s. Like, a lot of them are Hall of Famers. I think Heather Johnson might even be one too. I'm not positive on that, but Olsen broke the all-time scoring record for the girls, and then fellow senior Nevaeh Weimert broke 1,000 points too. So I guess when it comes to the basketball teams, good things come in pairs. So that was pretty much, I'm sure I'm probably forgetting 10 other things, but let's get back to me from the past.
Other than that, it's just been mostly covering, council meetings and all of that, adjusting to the space here, getting used to doing the pages myself, writing the stories myself, and I've had, especially the past couple of days, I've gotten a lot of business. So I've been steadily getting subscribers online through the website, and then it would have been yesterday, aka Tuesday morning, when I grabbed the mail, the day after Martin Luther King Day, Jr., should add that, but I got to 50 subscribers, and already today, I'm really close to 75. I think I'm 1 or 2 off, so, and I know one person I talked to that was going to subscribe. I haven't officially set that up yet, so I think more or less by the end of the day I will be at 75. If not, I'm sure I'll probably get a couple of subscriptions through the mail tomorrow. So things are moving fast, less than 24 hours, gotten like probably 30 subscriptions, so very good. That's going to help me out a lot. Basically at this point I just need to work on getting advertising set up with local businesses. Again, I have quite a few businesses interested. It's just getting them to commit, trying to set up a plan with them, build that rapport with them. And outside of that, that's pretty much it. I'm hoping, I've thought about, like, after every week, since I have almost nothing better to do on Wednesdays, I'm up here until 3 o'clock, open at 9 a.m. so that's 6 hours being up here. And having already sent pages, there's not much else for me to do. I thought about doing billing during the day and all of that, but it's kind of like I'm doing right now. I thought about just sitting down and vlogging, but I thought about doing a quick recap of all the news that I covered throughout the week. Maybe some breaking stuff that I didn't get to cover in the paper, or just little tidbits and teasers kind of to promote the paper through YouTube. If you think that's a great idea, leave a like and comment down below that you would like to see that. I'd probably just, I haven't really come up with a clever name for that type of segment yet. Like the newspaper, it's got the news voice. I kind of want it to be slightly more casual, almost like KUYC or, you know, like CARE 11, where I'm sitting down kind of like a reporter on there, but a little more loose, a little more casual. I think that's the word. So if you'd like to see something like that, please leave a comment and let me know. And yeah, I try to do that weekly. So I think that's pretty much it. I know there's a lot of detail in between that I didn't necessarily remember or share, but you know, from here it's kind of going to be a little bit boring. That's probably why I'm only going to do a weekly vlog. And it's not going to even be a vlog. I'd rather do that idea I was thinking about. Just a little mini recap of the week. It'd be good to get back to doing YouTube again. I used to do that when I was a teenage kid, thinking that I'd be like a Minecraft YouTuber. Let's be real. Yeah, I just outed myself. To all you people out there, you're probably thinking, oh, he's a gamer nerd. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll be leaving social media stuff down below. I usually try to post on TikTok once a week. I probably do it a little bit more because I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of fun. So I tried posting on Instagram. I did like a highlight of the week one week and never did it again. So I just need to get more consistent on a lot of stuff. I'm also working DoorDash on the side, trying to bring money in until I get this place to where it needs to be, to where I can do this full time and do all of the things that I want to do. So until then, I'll see you in the next one. Kaboom. I might add an explosion effect if I can. If not, we'll just roll right into the music right now.